What it do, everybody? This is Junior Zamron coming at you from Ukiah, California for the first episode of Baseball, Bobbleheads, and Brews. Today is the premiere episode of my tour with you, talking all things baseball, most things bobbleheads, and a lot of beer. Today's episode is very special, near and dear to my heart. Major League Baseball is celebrating Roberto Clemente Day, and I am here to talk about the impact that Roberto Clemente had in my life, a couple of my bobbleheads that I have of Mr. Clemente, and one of my favorite beers out there. It was announced a week ago by the Pittsburgh Pirates via Twitter that they will honor Roberto Clemente by the whole team wearing the number 21. Now that's a very big feat because the only person in Major League Baseball that has his number retired league-wide is Jackie Robinson. Rightfully so, being the first athlete to break the color barrier with the Brooklyn Dodgers. For me, Roberto Clemente was a beacon of hope, especially for the Latin community. So in my honest and humble opinion, Roberto Clemente should be treated with the same exact league-wide retiring of his number 21. Now to up the ante, Luis Clemente, son of Roberto Clemente, announced on Twitter that all Puerto Rican players that choose to can also wear his number 21 in honor of the great one. Roberto Clemente was born in August of 1934. He played 18 seasons, all with the Pittsburgh Pirates. However, he didn't get his start with Pittsburgh. He actually was with the same team that housed Jackie Robinson, the Brooklyn Dodgers. Now, he played with the Montreal Royals, the AAA team of those Dodgers, and Bobby, as they called him, was actually drafted in the first round of the rookie draft in 1955. That's when he came over to Pittsburgh, and there his legacy took off. He was a 15-time All-Star, 12-time Gold Glove winner, 2-time World Series champion. He was also the 1966 NL MVP. The biggest thing that Roberto Clemente did in his life was actually joining the 3,000 hit club. He did that September 30th of 1972, his actual last professional major league at-bat. Not only did the great one have a legendary career on the field, it's the things that Roberto did off the field that made him an icon. He gave back to many people in his short life, especially those that experienced a catastrophic earthquake in Nicaragua in 1972. Roberto Clemente chartered a plane to send supplies and aid to the city in Nicaragua. However, corrupt government officials diverted those 3 planes that he had sent. Unfortunately, because of that, on the 4th time, Roberto Clemente loaded up supplies and took off on New Year's Eve of 1972. That would be the last time he was seen alive, because shortly after the plane took off, it crashed on the coast of Puerto Rico. Roberto's death was a travesty, especially to the people of Puerto Rico. They lost their beacon, their icon, their hero. Pedro Martinez said on an episode of La Vida Baseball that Roberto's teammate, Manny Senegal, said that when Roberto's plane went down into the water, Roberto was so good that not even the ocean wanted to give him back. Roberto's body was never found, and even the day of his funeral, his teammate, Manny Santiago, instead of attending the funeral, looked for his teammate's body in the water. Roberto was enshrined posthumously into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1973. This was very important because that would make the Great One the first Latin American player ever to be enshrined into Cooperstown. You are extremely missed, Roberto, especially for your humanitarian efforts. You gave a lot of people hope, and you ultimately gave your life to ensure that they could have prosperity. A true hero. Thank you. Roberto's legacy lives on, especially with the creation of the Roberto Clemente Award, first handed out in 1973 to the great Willie Mays. Every year this award is handed out to the person that best exemplifies Roberto Clemente's spirit, his commitment to humanitarian efforts, and all-around goodwill. Last year's winner was Carlos Carrasco, and this year's nominee for the Oakland A's is Tony Kemp. The award will be handed out at the World Series this year. And now it's time that we talk about one of my favorite things out there. I collect bobbleheads. Right now I'd like to show off one of my many Roberto Clemente bobbleheads. Now this one here is from Forever Collectibles in 2003. It is the Legends of the Diamonds, and it's honoring Roberto Clemente's 12 Gold Glove Awards. Now, the box is a little bit beat up, and from what I've seen, it did not come in the original package. This package right here actually housed the other Roberto Clemente bobblehead for the Legends of the Diamond. That one has more of the Cooperstown feel. This one depicts Roberto holding the beautiful Gold Glove Award. Now this right here, if you can see, is numbered at 296. The bobblehead itself stands at about 9 inches tall, made out of resin. Bobbles really well, has minor flaws on the paint, but it's about 10 years old. This is one of my favorites because the Gold Glove Award is rarely seen in bobblehead form. Now I'd also like to show off a stadium giveaway given out in Puerto Rico from the Montreal Expos. This bobblehead was given out in 2003 as well. It's made by Bobble Dreams, and it depicts Roberto in his Montreal Royals attire. 1954, right before he was drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates. This one as well is limited numbered to 6,000. This one is 5,289. Slightly smaller, stands at about 4 inches, made of what I believe is ceramic because it has a heavier feel than the Forever Collectible one. This bobblehead is one of the rarest one to find in all your Roberto Clemente bobbleheads that you're looking for. So once you get your hands on this one, you might have the crown jewel, or the holy grail like they call it. Or if you're into the old bobbleheads, you have the originals from 1960 that go for roughly $5,000. I'm still on the hunt for that one. And finally today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite brews out there. It's from Pyramid Brewery, which comes to you from the Pacific Northwest. Originally known as Heart Brewing, in 1984, they came out with their Hefeweizen. This one right here is their summer seasonal that actually comes out in the spring. Perfect for baseball. It is cold filtered blonde ale called Curveball. I first tried Curveball in 2006 at the Oakland Coliseum when it was served at A's games. I was instantly hooked. Then I learned that they had their brewing operations here in California, in Berkeley, California. A short hop, skip, and a jump from the Coliseum. I would go down after the game, before the game, enjoy a nice pyramid burger and an ice cold Curveball. Now this right here was a luchador bottle opener given to me by my brother-in-law, and it's one of my favorite things out there because it gives you a nice little headlock to open up your beer. Now this is a Kolsch style ale. It has 5% alcohol by volume, a nice floral aroma with a touch of lemon, very crisp, especially when ice cold, has no undertones of serious hop, a slight caramel taste, and a very smooth finish. It's perfect for any day out at the ball game or even a backyard barbecue. So I encourage you out there to try to find some Curveball and take a swing at it. Now, I'll drop the link in the description to get you connected with Pyramid Brewery, as well as Forever Collectibles for all your bobblehead needs. Now don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on baseball, bobbleheads, and brews. Cheers.